here is another habit that we mostly ignore. This is something to do with early morning routines. Mornings are not just the times we wake up from the bed, but mornings are also the very same times that we can define the very fate of the day from. The very first thing that we can do about the mornings is to check the time we wake up every day. Waking up very early in the morning consistently will have very great impacts, because when you wake up at the same time every morning, you tell your brain that these are the times that we get ready for the day, and it is also a sign of commitment over whatever you do in the day. Imagine sometimes you wake up very drained and other times you wake up very alert. There's one thing that you are more likely to notice, and that's something to do with waking up at irregular times. You wake up the other days very early in the morning, you wake up the other days a little later, you find that your brain is not yet put to a consistent time at which it is supposed to be very active. But the moment you set, as I recommend, for example, you wake up every day at 5 o'clock. For the very first days, it may be a little harder to adapt, but eventually you find that you can even wake up at the very same time without even needing an aid from an alarm. So what you actually do is, when you wake up at the very same consistent time, early in the morning, you tell your brain that these are the times we get ready for the day, and that improves the focus that you can have for every single thing that you can do in the day. The other thing that can also show that mornings are very powerful is usually the prayer that we can have in the morning. Prayer is not just a ritual, but it is a spiritual basis which defines also our sense of purpose. The moment you wake up early in the morning and have a prayer, you develop a sense of focus that in this day we are supposed to set goals, and we're supposed to be very serious onto the goals that we are doing, because we know that even working hard in that day, whether for business or anything, is not just for the physical success but also for spiritual rootedness. The other thing we cannot ignore about the mornings is the quality of the diet that we take in the morning. We know there are a lot of kinds of diets that we can have in the morning, but I would recommend a breakfast that can be rich in carbohydrates. So a breakfast that is rich in carbohydrates is going to equip your body and nourish your body tissues of the energy that the body is going to require to carry out the activities in the day. And also checking on the content of the meal. At least it should be the kind of a diet that is at least rich in minerals and vitamins to at least regulate the normal body processes, including those that are required in the brain. The other component that the meal that we can have early in the morning should comprise should be the proteins, because definitely your brain requires the amino acids which are responsible for the production of neurotransmitters like glutamate, serotonin, and these are very essential in as far as mood regulation as well as alertness is concerned. Therefore, the moment we recognize and acknowledge the power of morning routines, we will stick to the correct morning routines, like waking up very early in the morning, like at 5 o'clock a.m., having a spiritual routine, and also thirdly, having a nutritional balance that is essential for the day. Then at least we are going to enhance our mental clarity. Thank you for watching.